Hey guys, welcome back to Cereal at Midnight. I'm Heath, and this is our monthly spotlight on basically all the boutique Blu-ray labels, all the things that are coming out from, what do we got here? We got Arrow, Eureka, 88 Films, Celluloid Dreams, even the releases from the studios that look like boutique releases. We've got from Lionsgate Limited, they're releasing Basic Instinct and King of New York on Steelbooks. As you can see, these are still sealed because because they're Steelbooks, I wanted to unwrap them on camera so we could all, have that moment. From Sony, Gandhi and Stripes, Steelbooks again. Very boutique-y, right? These feel very, these recording the collector market. So I've got thoughts about all of this. We've got a lot of ground to cover. I'm saving my favorite release out of everything here for last. So we're ending on a high note. Also, let's start with Sony. As I unwrap Stripes, just tell you where I am with a lot of this stuff. It's April as I'm recording this episode, and I have contributed either an audio commentary or an on-camera, video segment to 7 upcoming releases so far. And there's a lot more where that came from. So that's really where a lot of my time is going. You're going to see, I haven't really watched most of this stuff yet. I haven't had a chance to watch most of this stuff because I'm spending weeks with a single movie, heavily researching it, and then turning in some sort of a film historian contribution for that movie. When I'm not doing that, I'm at the movie theater watching movies that are hitting, new movies that are hitting. And then if there's free time after that, I'm probably watching an episode of Star Trek or something like that. So I'm not going to be able to comment on, video quality on these things, but I can at least show you what's coming out, and I've got some serious opinions about this stuff. So Stripes from Sony. Now this was part of one of those Columbia both of these, Gandhi and Stripes, have already been released on 4K through the Columbia anniversary sets, right? There's been 5 of those so far, and this is, I believe, the first standalone release for both of these, and they're Steelbooks, and these are $50 each, which is that's not a small amount of money. So here's the front. So let's see, this is an upside down J card. So here's the front, the back. What do we have here? Special features. Oh man. Theatrical and extended versions of the movie. That's nice. Theatrical trailer. 40 Years of Stripes with Bill and Ivan. And then the Blu-ray, that's on the 4K. The Blu-ray disc has the theatrical and extended versions of the film. Commentary with Ivan Reitman and Dan Goldberg. On the extended version only. Deleted and extended scenes. 11 additional deleted and extended scenes. 1983 TV version of Stripes, and then Stars and Stripes documentary. So that's a loaded package. It's got a lot of stuff on it. So let's take this off right here. Come on. Twist it. Oh, it leaves this glue glob. Let me get that off right there. Okay. Let me just do it like this. All right, so I've got a code inside. Oh, it's 2 different codes. One is for Stripes theatrical, one is for Stripes extended. So let me set that to the side here. Again, we're seeing this together for the first time. So 2 discs overlapping. Who's your friend? Who's your buddy? I am, aren't I? That's pretty well done. But what I want to know is what you guys think about this trend of Steelbooks first and or Steelbooks only. I personally would rather see standard edition packaging, 4K packaging. The discs are the discs, but if you're going to charge $50 for a Steelbook, well, not everybody wants that. But this is the market that we've created, right? Because this is the inevitable development of what happens when collectors keep something alive. Is the studios, the companies that sell to collectors, go, well, if we do a Steelbook, we can charge $50 per release. And because the sales continue to decline for physical media, that becomes a tempting proposition. That's exactly why they do it, and people buy these things. So here's Gandhi. This does not have a lump of glue. This is just going to come right off. Well, hold on. Let's see what we got here. So this is special features on Blu-ray. Introduction and commentary with Richard Attenborough. Gandhi Legacy, feature-length picture-in-picture feature-length picture and graphics track. Sir Ben Kingsley talks about Gandhi, vintage newsreel, In Search of Gandhi, reflections on Ben, Madeline Slade. Okay, it's loaded. It's got a ton of stuff here. So, chapow. That comes right off. This is beautiful. Code. Put the code. What did it? Put that code to the side. This has got a little swinging tray. So it's 3 discs. Nothing's overlapping here. Let's see what. Gotta be careful getting it off these hubs. Okay, that's one side. I'm gonna put that disc back on there. That's the feature film disc. And then, I'm so nervous. See, these things make me nervous too, because I'm like, you don't want to bend the Steelbook trying to get this disc off. I just want standard packaging, man. Is that too much to ask, man? I just saw The Big Lebowski with an audience at my local independent theater. They had a members-only screening, and I got to see The Big Lebowski with an audience. And so I've got this aggression will not stand, man. I've got all these quotes in my head. Just like channeling the dude. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man. All right, so let's do. We're moving to the Lionsgate Limited, which are heretofore. I think they were only available on the Lionsgate website, but our pal Jesse, oh come on, at Diabolic DVD has started to carry the Lionsgate Limited titles, which is fantastic. The reason these aren't available on Amazon and wherever else is because they want to drive business to the Lionsgate website and make it feel like it's a special boutique kind of a thing. These are at least more affordable than the Sony disc. That's not always the case, but where Sony's charging $50 for Gandhi and Stripes, these are, I think, $45, and they're $35 on the site right now. They're on the Lionsgate site. Diabolic DVD, going to be your better bet there too. So, okay, what do we have here in very small print? We've got audio commentary with Abel Ferreira, audio commentary with the composer, the producer, the casting director, and the editor. I don't see anything with Christopher Walken here. I don't do commentaries. I don't show how the magic's made. Short film about the long career of Abel Ferreira, documentary The Adventures of Schoolie D, snowboarder featurette, and the Blu-ray has an interview with Abel Ferreira, an interview with producer Augusto Caminito, Schoolie D music video, original theatrical trailer, and the TV spots. Okay, so the content is there. That's a lot of stuff here. All right, what do you guys think about this? Flip it. And let's take the code out. The digital code. Here's what we're dealing with. 2 discs, nothing overlapping. Of course, great movie. I understand the prestige of this movie. I should mention too, this transfer was done. Let me make sure I got my facts right here. This is King of New York was restored by Arrow in 2020. They put that, I think that was a UK only title. Arrow was only able to get the UK. I'm speculating here. No one's told me this, but because they only put it out in the UK, I'm like, okay, they picked up the UK distribution rights for King of New York. Now, Lionsgate has that transfer that Arrow created, and it's coming out in the US. So that's how it works. It's like, one hand washing the other. So if you have the UK version from Arrow, it's the same transfer. And I'm not going to do a side-by-side with all special features because I don't care, to be honest with you. That's more effort than, especially when everything's online and you can just go look at a list. These videos exist so that I can show you these things, so that as movie fans and movie collectors, we can go, and I don't, to be clear, I don't buy all this either. Somebody's like, there's always one who's like, why did you buy all that? I didn't. Most of this stuff is sent by the studios, so I'll cover it. And I do cover it because it's a service to the collector community, so you can see what you're getting. You can get a hands-on look at it, right? Basic Instinct, unrated. Movie speaks for itself, right? I mean, it's famous, it's infamous, however you want to talk about it. All right, it's a 3-discer. We got audio commentary with Paul Verhoeven and cinematographer Jan de Bont. Audio commentary with journalist Camille Paglia. A 1993 commentary. 1993? Though that must be for the Laserdisc. commentary with Paul Verhoeven. Introduction by Sharon Stone, 1993 interview with Paul Verhoeven. I love these deep vintage features. The Making of Basic Instinct EPK, electronic press kit. Inside Basic Instinct VHS featurette, Secrets of Basic Instinct Laserdisc featurette, whoo, mama, A Conversation with Sharon Stone featurette, Blonde Poison, The Making of Basic Instinct documentary, Cleaning Up Basic Instinct featurette, video scrapbook, wow, screen test, theatrical trailer, director's cut trailer, TV spot, and a partridge in a pear tree. Front of the package, back of the package, and that's iconic. Okay, that's well done. And there's, here, I'll just do this. Code, set that to the side. Here's how the disc is distributed. Is the same art on all three of them? No, it's different. Okay, hold on. This disc, that's one of the discs. Is that upright? Yeah. And then what's the third one under here? Okay. Let's see. Is there anything under here? I don't know that there is. Let's see. Do this carefully, Heath. Yeah, okay. Okay. So again, what do you guys think about this? I do not mean to like slam Steelbook collectors, because I get it. I mean, I understand the appeal of Steelbooks. I'm more concerned about Steelbooks only, or Steelbooks first, at an elevated retail price. And then if a standard edition comes, when does it come? Because there's some of the stuff we haven't gotten standard editions yet. So that's, I get concerned about the direction things are taking. When speculation, I should say it this way. Having lived through decades of different collectible whatever epochs, right? The comic book collecting scene, the record collecting scene. You know, records were my original format. They died out largely in the late 90s, early 2000s, and now we've seen this huge resurgence. But with that resurgence, they're highly collectible. You're going to pay $35 for your average record, and $50 if it's a two record set. The cost of a collectible market is hugely inflated prices, and I don't think that the products retain their value past the point of sale. Sometimes they do, but I'm just looking at what's happening, and we've been talking about this for a long time. You know, we're covering all the trends here and have been for years. We've been building towards this for a long time. As the market becomes more of a niche collectible thing, this is what happens, is you get highly collectible releases to build up some of those numbers, to fill in some of that space. Hard Ice. This came from this is Screen Gems. I was trying, like, what? Sony. Okay. I saw this in theaters. I've already reviewed this here on the channel, so this is easy to talk about. I saw this opening weekend. It came out on Valentine's weekend. It's a 50-50 blend of a romantic comedy and a throwback style slasher horror movie. And it works. It's really fun. It's really funny. It's really gory. If you love, see, we don't have a whole lot of these like fun slasher movies anymore. So that's why I say it's a throwback, because it really is like, it's not what I would consider it to be like, it's not an endurance test. It's like, I Know What You Did Last Summer, or Urban Legend, or even Scream, or something like that. Like, it's a 90s style mixture of these two movies. And I thought it was a lot of fun. And I don't want to spoil anything about the plot, but because I mean, again, I've already talked about it here once, but it's a really fun movie. And this, it's not getting a 4K because I don't know why. My speculation is because the box office was not there to justify a 4K. And if anybody's like, what is he talking about? Well, that's why it's important to see things at the theater if you're interested in it, because the box office returns of a movie do play into, it's not the only factor, but that is a factor that plays into whether a movie gets a 4K release or not. Of course, there are other things to consider, like how the movie was shot, if the people at the studio think there's a market for 4K, but you can never take these things for granted, that there's going to be a 4K. So I am sad that this is not getting a 4K release, but it does have a good Blu-ray, because this has a making of documentary. It's got a gag reel, deleted scenes, and here's a big one, a commentary from the filmmaker. What? We don't get that very often anymore. Not for new movies. You never see, well, I mean, like, it's got to be like 1 in 20. 1 out of every 20 new movies gets an audio commentary from the director. It's pretty rare. So I haven't listened to it yet. Again, I've already seen the movie, so I haven't listened to the commentary yet, but I want to, because I would like to go behind the scenes of the movie and just sort of explore it. I also got Sony also sent me Paddington in Peru. Now it's still in the shrink wrap. I know nothing about Paddington. I am of the generation who grew up with the original Paddington when it was basically stop motion animation, or like paper animation. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like the 80s Paddington. I have seen none of these movies. This is the third one, right? I've seen none of them. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but I would be lying if I was like, oh, this is something I'm kind of interested in. It's not really. But it's out on Blu-ray. It's got a create your own adventure map and friendship bracelet. I mean, see, this is not the tone of Cereal at Midnight. Let's prepare for Paddington sing along. This is for children. This is for little children. These movies aren't these movies for children? I haven't seen them, so I'm not trying to put anybody down. But these special features lead me to believe that these movies are made for children. And I'm not a child, and I don't have a child anymore. My child is grown. The making of Paddington in Peru, set tour of the Brown's house, and set tour the home for patriotic. It's under the Made in. Is that Made in Mexico? Yeah, disc Made in Mexico. It's under that, so I can't quite read that. Anyway, Paddington Peru. This is the Blu-ray. You got the digital code too. I'm assuming if this is what I was sent, that there's also not a 4K for Paddington, but I could be wrong on that. I thought this did really well, so that kind of throws what I was saying earlier out the window. Gundam Gang, not Gundam. It's a Freudian slip. Ultraman. Oh, I do love some Gundam. Hey, they released, was it Char's Counterattack? The Gundam movie got a theatrical, like a one night only re-release in theaters. And Princess Mononoke did too. And Princess Mononoke was huge. Like, it was like sold out. So there's cool stuff happening. I'm always championing the theaters because people are like, oh, theaters suck. No, man. I just saw Sinners in theaters. Audience packed house. Super respectful audience. A few people did take their phones out, which bothers me, but nobody talked on it, thank goodness. And it was a relatively, like, everybody was engrossed in the movie. I also think that's one of the best movies. It's the best movie I've seen so far this year. Ryan Coogler needs a directing Oscar. Ultraman Z. This is from Mill Creek Entertainment. This is just hitting now. It's the 25 episodes of the Ultraman Z series. In a departure from past, this is 3 discs. I believe the other Ultraman series are more discs than that, don't they? I believe, from memory, because I've watched most of these. It's like 5 episodes per Blu-ray. This is 8. And 9. Disc 1 has 9 episodes. That's too many. That's too many. And this is this disc is fine over here on its own. This disc is stacked on top of another disc. That always creates problems, and that's not something that Mill Creek has been doing with Ultraman. I can only assume that they're trying to lower costs. I'm not sure why, because Mill Creek is owned by Alliance Entertainment, which is one of the biggest media distributors in the United States. Alliance just tried to buy Diamond, the comic book publisher. Comics Collectibles, the company that distributes all of that, is filing bankruptcy, and Alliance just tried to buy them for millions and millions of dollars. So why are we stacking discs? What's up with that? Here's the booklet that comes with this. I mean, I'm glad this exists, and because Mill Creek has renewed the Ultraman license, we're getting more Ultraman. Keeps the Ultraman we already have in print, but contains a free playable card from the Ultraman card game. I didn't see a card. I don't have a card. Did I miss a card? No card, no card, no card, no card. That's frustrating. Not that I want the card, but if you say there's something in here, why isn't it in here? We got stacked disc, we're missing a card. I'm not trying to be grumpy, but this is a clear, we can see a decline in quality. I'm not wild about that. From Arrow, I'm very excited about this, and I'm going to be reading the back of the box to you on this because there's a lot to cover. This is V Cinema Essentials Bullets and Betrayal from Arrow Video. It is these films, and just listen to this. I in the past, I've been like, I don't like to read to you guys, but I'm at the point now where I'm going to have to read some of this stuff to you guys because I just don't have the bandwidth to have done all the work ahead of time. And there's so much information here. I'm just going to read it to you guys. In 1989, legendary Japanese studio Toei launched their V Cinema line of direct-to-video genre features. V Cinema Essentials, Bullets and Betrayal presents 9 explosive titles representing some of the best Japanese crime film has to offer. Fast-paced and action-packed, Crime Hunter, Bullets of Rage, sees Detective Joe... Okay, they're just describing the movies now, so I'm not going to do that. Filled with action, thrills, and double crosses, V Cinema Essential Bullets and Betrayal is an electrifying compendium of gems from the Japanese video underworld. Limited edition contents, HD, Blu-ray presentations of all the films, original lossless Japanese mono audio, Crime Hunter, Bullets of Rage, and original lossless Japanese stereo audio for all the other ones. So mono for that one, and then stereo for the rest. Optional newly translated English subtitles for all the films. 9 postcard-sized art cards, limited edition packaging with reversible sleeves, featuring newly commissioned artwork by Chris Melbourne. Illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writing by Earl Jackson, Daisuke Miao, and Haley Scannion. Okay, so let's get into this. If I actually can. Okay, it's gonna... Come on now. Oh! Okay. That's nice. And this has art on this side. This is just white or tan, whatever that is. I'll put the book to the side here. You know what? I guess I'll do these one at a time. Special feature. This is a lot of stuff here. Hold this up. I'm exporting this video in 4K, so you should be able to pause this and read everything. I'd stopped with I don't know if I can show. Well, I'd stopped doing videos in 4K for a while because I wasn't sure it was worth it, to be honest with you. I wasn't getting a lot of feedback about them being in 4K. And it takes so much extra space. It takes longer to upload the videos. It takes more space to store it, right? Here's the special edition contents of this. This is a double feature disc, right? So, or is it? Yeah. Oh, I like this. Yeah, so this does not have... So the flip side of this art is the other movie poster. Because it's 2 movies on 1 Blu-ray. The Hitman, Blood Smells Like Roses, and Danger Point, The Road to Hell. What's the total running time of this together? Because I'm curious. 85 minutes and 101 minutes. Yeah, that's okay. I'm always worried about them packing too much HD content onto too small of a space. But there we go. Which way is the right way? This is nice. This is great. This is a cool niche market thing too. This is not something that I think is an obvious an obvious release. So whenever we get something that feels kind of curated like this, I know people are super into it, including me. It's just, where do you find the time to watch it all? There we go. One more. And then the book. All right, so here's the Crime Hunter special features. And here's the special features for this. If you have any familiarity with this movie, with these movies, what are we teasing? That's the tease. If If you have any familiarity with these movies, I would love to know what you think about. Not just me, everyone reading the comments would love to know what you think about them, and if you have a favorite from these, because I don't know. I say this constantly, but where in America, or at least where I live, these movies, Asian cinema was not something that you could just see. I think they were probably more readily available in the UK and definitely in Australia. But in the US, you were really subject to what your local video store had. And they had some martial arts, but they didn't have tons. And these aren't martial arts. These are going to be crime films. I just don't remember these being around at all. In any, like, we had Bruce Lee, we had some Jackie Chan at the video store, but we didn't have things like this. So I'm discovering a lot of it for the first time. Here's the table of contents in the booklet. It's really just a book. It's a square-bound perfect book that goes for 60 pages. See what I can show here. Oh, nice. That's visually striking. Mayhem for the Home Screen, Toei V Cinema by Earl Jackson. I gotta check that out. Oh, all right. Selling me on it. Oh, look, check out this guy. What is that? Driving My Car, The Speed of Toei V Cinema by Daisuke Meow. Look for another full page. Well, I'm not really seeing any more full page things here. Let's show that. Maybe in the back. Sweet. Very sweet. Okay, so that's huge, right? That's something everybody probably watching this is at least curious about, because we're all... I think physical media offers us the opportunity to explore and to discover, right? I think that's a huge part of the appeal for some people. I know it is for me, is exploring and discovering things. This is from Eureka. This is another one that I'm extremely excited about. This is the Mabuse Lives box set from Eureka. This is the CCC, Dr. Mabuse at CCC, 1960 to 1964. Now, they sum it up really well. Fritz Lang made two of the defining works of early German cinema of Dr. Mabuse, The Gambler and Testament of Dr. Mabuse, two masterpieces based on Norbert Jacques' nefarious literary supervillain. In 1960, here, hold this up so you have something to look at while I'm reading to you. In 1960, Lang was charged by Arthur Bronnier's CCC film with making a third crime film centered on the infamous Dr. Mabuse, completing a trilogy nearly 40 years in the making. A huge success, The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse gave CCC the confidence to launch into an entire series focused on the master criminal between 1960 and 1964, with Wolfgang Preis filling the title role. All 6 films are presented here, along with a wealth of new and archival extras. And this includes Fritz Lang's final film, The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse. And then loads of special features. Limited edition hardbound slipcase featuring new artwork by Tony Stella, 1080p presentation for all 6 films from 2K restorations of the original film elements. So if you're wondering, why no 4K? 2K restorations. Where did I leave off? Original German audio tracks. That's in case you're wondering where these are from. These are German audio. Optional English dub tracks on all 6 films, if that's how you roll. Archival audio commentary on The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse by film historian and author David Callet. New audio commentaries on the other 5 films in the set by film historian and author David Callet. And that's possible David's last name is Calais. I don't want to be widely off base, so let me cover my bases there. New introductions to each film by genre film expert and video watchdog founder Tim Lucas. Mabuse Lives at CCC, new interview with film producer Alice Bronner, managing director of CCC Films, and the daughter of the founder, Arthur Bronner. Criminology, a new video essay by David Cairns and Fiona Watson. I raggi mortali del Dr. Mabuse, alternate Italian cut of the death ray of Dr. Mabuse. 2002 interview with actor Wolfgang Preis. Alternate ending for The Thousand Eyes. Okay. Plus a limited 60-page booklet featuring new essay by German film scholar Tim Bergfelder, new notes on the film by Holger Haas, and a co-editor of Krimi magazine, and archival essays by David Cairns. This is why I got to read all this stuff, because it's like, it's so extensive. There's so much stuff. Okay, oh, airplane. You guys hear the airplane flying overhead? It's how we do it, man. No sound studio here. Keeping it real. This is for real. J-card holder, whatever, however you describe these. So here's the front. It's gorgeous, man. I'm so excited about these. Again, when to watch. You're like, hey, that next commentary is going to be late. I'm watching Dr. Mabuse movies. Oh, these are really in here. Ugh. Okay, that is definitely a hard box. Save this booklet for later. Okay, so we've got all these movies in 2 Blu-ray cases. Hold that up. I'm not going to read all that to you guys because I just read to you extensively. But we will. Oh, this is part of the Masters of Cinema range. I should call that out too, because that's my favorite thing Eureka does, is the Masters of Cinema line. And that makes sense, right? That's a good fit. Of course I do. Of course. Okay. Whoa. Don't fall over. Here's this. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Oh, that's upside down. Hold on. Oh, there you go. Let's, hang on, let me put these back in the case here so they don't fall. It's a snug fit, man. Okay. Ooh. The night has 1,000 eyes. There's the table of contents. All right, I'm not going to go page by page, but let me see what's worth showing here. I guess, yeah, the 1,000 Eyes of Dr. Mabuse. It's a riff on the Night Has 1,000. What year? Okay, now you guys can do the research on this because you're on the internet already. I'm not. I'm making a video. Night Has 1,000 Eyes. Edward G. Robinson. That predates 1960, right? That's a 50s movie, or is it even a 40s movie? I love that movie. If you haven't seen Night Has, just as a film buff, if you haven't seen The Night Has 1,000 Eyes, go check that out because it's incredible. It's about can you change fate? Can you change your destiny? From Eureka, also, the magnificent Chang-Chi. This is hold on, trying to remember where I'm at in my stack here. Okay, the Magnificent Trio and Magnificent Wanderers. Now, Chang-Chi directed. Sometimes it feels like most of the martial arts movies that came out of the whole scene from the 70s into the 80s, because I mean, if like we've gotten all these box sets and all these re-releases are just releases of movies, Chang-Chi's all over them. He's like the guy. He's the guy that directed most of these movies. One of Shaw Studios' most prolific directors, Chang-Chi, or the godfather of Hong Kong cinema. Well, there you go. Is the filmmaker behind Five Deadly Venoms, Chinatown Kid, and Boxer Rebellion. Collected here are 2 films by the maestro of martial arts that showcase his considerable talents at both ends of his career. The Magnificent Trio, produced when wuxia films ruled the Hong Kong box office in the mid-60s, and Magnificent Warriors, made at the height of the Kung Fu craze at the end of the 1970s. Limited edition O-card, special features, let's see, include, well, hold on, who did the art? Gregory Sacre did the new art. New audio commentary on the Magnificent Trio by East Asian film expert Frank Zhang, martial arts filmmaker Michael Worth. New audio commentary on Magnificent Wanderers by action cinema experts Mike Leader and Arm Vinema. Chang-Chi Style, a new video essay by Gary Bedinson, author of Asian Cinema Journal, plus a limited edition collector's booklet featuring new writing on Chang-Chi by writer and critic James Oliver. Ooh, wraparound. And you know what? The inside art is a wraparound too. Oh, that's nicely done. Nice. one disc. Here's the booklet. All right, anything else we want to show before we... Yeah. And then I like that they give us notes on... What does it say? Viewing notes. Both films are presented in the 2:35 aspect ratio for widescreen systems screening this disc. The display mode should be toggled. What? For widescreen systems screening this disc, the display mode should be toggled via the corresponding button on the remote's on-screen setup menu until the frame appears with its original dimensions intact, letterboxed with black bars bordering the top and the bottom of the image. It is heartbreaking that they have to tell you what aspect ratio you're supposed to watch this movie in. But you know what? I see people all the time who have a widescreen TV and they've got the content, if it's a full frame or whatever, they've got it stretched way out and it doesn't seem to bother them. But in the words of the Fine Young Cannibals, it drives me crazy. Why would you do that? Actually, she drives me crazy, isn't it? Ruined my joke. Dang it. Also from Eureka, The Adventurers, a film by, hold on, who was it by? Ringo Lam. So here, I'll just go ahead and show you the front and the back of this. This is a, let's see, I was looking for the 1995. The Adventurers is 1995, Hong Kong. Hey guys, this film contains flashing images which may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy. I don't remember seeing that release on a lot of this, or that warning on a lot of stuff before, but the shrink wrap to the V Cinema, the Arrow V Cinema release had that on it too. That it featured flashing lights. Is that a growing problem? There's zero judgment. Just, this is a new thing. Is this like a government mandated thing? Is this hey, these are all from the UK labels, right? Arrow's a UK label. I mean, US too, but they're based out of the UK. And so is Eureka, and so is 88 Films, right? Which we're about to talk about. Is that a legal thing that they have to say that? The only collaboration between Action Master Ringo Lam, City on Fire, and Hong Kong superstar Andy Lau, Internal Affairs. I'm sorry, Infernal. Hold on, Internal or Infernal? Infernal. Okay. Internal Affairs is a Richard Gere movie, right? The Adventurers is an explosive story of heroic bloodshed featuring Rosamund Kwan, Once Upon a Time in China, David Cheng, Election, and Victor Wong, Big Trouble in Little China. We got a limited edition O-card featuring new artwork by Time Tomorrow, Blu-ray, 2K, Cantonese audio track, Cantonese, unrestored Cantonese stereo track. So you have two choices. You have stereo, restored Cantonese audio, and stereo and unrestored Cantonese. Optional English subtitles, newly translated. New audio commentary by film critic David West. Two Adventurers. A new interview with Gary Bettison, editor-in-chief of Asian Cinema Journal. Previously unseen archival footage. Okay. Take a little trip through the booklet. Do you guys feel like these movies retain their power and impact into the 90s? I suppose that answer is going to be different for everybody. I'm just curious. I find some of the 90s stuff, I never love the comedy martial arts movies, but I find that into the 90s, they get even sillier, it seems like, and I don't know if that's the case. It does not look like that's the case here, but I'm just curious what you guys think. From 88 Films, this is Shaw Brothers, Lady with a Sword. Ooh, that is shiny. We have, let's see, hold on. When her sisters attacked and murdered swordsman Feng Fei Fei, Lily Ho, Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan, knows just what to do, find the culprits and slice them up. But her righteous vengeance is compromised when she learns just who her target is, the man her parents have arranged for her to marry. Limited edition features a slipcase with brand new artwork by RP Kung Fu Bob O'Brien, double-sided fold-out poster, high definition, yeah, okay. Original Mandarin mono, 2.0 with new English subtitles, audio comments. It's hard to read because it's shiny. Audio commentary by David West, stills gallery, reversible sleeve. Okay. Come on now. All right. We're winding down. We're going to be done within the next 10 minutes, I think. From Film Masters, this is a big deal. They're firing on all cylinders. This is Merry-Go-Round. This is a Erich von Stroheim film from 1923 that they have... Flicker Alley is honored to present for the first time ever on Blu-ray the new restoration of Erich von Stroheim's Merry-Go-Round by Black Hawk Films. Merry-Go-Round, 1923, was originally intended to be Erich von Stroheim's fourth directorial feature by Universal following the success of Foolish Wives. Behind the scenes, however, Stroheim wrote the script, supervised the production, but was initially forbidden by the studio from headlining, and 6 weeks into the shooting was fired and replaced by Rupert Julian, the Phantom of the Opera. Flicker Alley is honored to present this newly restored edition of the film thanks to the dedicated restoration efforts of Black Hawk Films with the support of the Sunrise Foundation and a deluxe Blu-ray edition. This new restoration of Merry-Go-Round reconstructs the original continuity by combining the surviving elements, film elements throughout the world, meticulous image restoration, and recreating the original stunning color effects. Because in silent films, they would often tint things, and they would use color. It's black and white, but they would use color even into the sound era to achieve different things. To offer audiences the closest look possible at the original version of this film. Merry-Go-Round features a newly commissioned orchestral score composed and conducted by Robert Israel, generously underwritten by the Sunrise Foundation for the Arts. Bonus materials include commentary by Richard Kozarsky, go behind the scenes of Merry-Go-Round's incredible filmic legacy with an in-depth commentary, restoring Merry-Go-Round, self-explanatory, Vienna actualities, 6 actualities showing Viennese life from the early days of the 20th century, courtesy of Film Archive Austria. Old Heidelberg, 1915, a feature film from John Emerson and producer D.W. Griffith. I've been to D.W. Griffith's grave. I bring that up every time I get a chance. Old Heidelberg was an influence on Merry-Go-Round and features one of the earliest Erich von Stroheim performances. Photo gallery, souvenir booklet. So let's check out that souvenir booklet. It's beautifully done. I'm telling Flicker Alley, man. They are on it. Let's see. Here's the cover art. And we do have... Look at that. If you wanted to display it that way. Hold on. You certainly could. Even the disc looks great. So here is, oh man. Dense with text. So for all my classic film lovers out there who are not afraid of silence, I watched the silent movie yesterday, just for fun. That's right, I watched a Tom Mix Western, just for fun. I posted about this online, too. Gene Autry's horse was named Champion. Roy Rogers' horse was named Trigger. Tom Mix's horse was named Tony, which cracks me up. Tony, the Wonder Horse. Merry-Go-Round, this is fantastic. I love what Flicker Alley's doing. I love that we still have that era of film, the early film history being preserved, that there are people dedicated enough to keep that, and Laurel and Hardy, and all these early films. They're keeping them alive and looking better than ever for future generations. This is The Soul Eater. I have not watched this. It's on 4K. This was sent to me by Who? I don't even know. Let's see. Cape Light. This is a Cape Light release. I have not seen this. I do not know what it is. I did not request this. Sometimes things show up and I go, well, I'll talk about it in the video. Chief Inspector Elizabeth Guardino is sent to a remote mountain village of Rucanor to investigate a gruesome double murder. At the same time, Gendarmerie Captain France. Okay, and that's also got a glare on it. This captain arrives in a small community to investigate the abduction of several local children. There's nothing to suggest a connection between the cases, but then Guardino and de Roland come across the ancient legend of the Soul Eater. So this is let's see, German and French. Let's see, audios, you can watch it in German and French. Let's see. Yeah, I don't. There's no special features listed. So if you're a horror head and you're like, I gotta have more horror, I got a fever, and the only prescription is more horror. There you go. I've been meaning to talk. This got buried in a stack. This came out several months ago. This is the 3D Film Archive in association with the Library of Congress, released and distributed by Bayview Entertainment. It's Domo Arigato. Arch Obler's Domo Arigato. A Race Against Time with Love in a New Dimension. I know that there's a bunch of 3D fans watching these videos. The final film of Golden Age radio storyteller turned filmmaker Arch Obler, Domo Arigato finally arrives as it was always meant to be seen in this deluxe fully restored Blu-ray edition from the 3D Film Archive. Sourced from one-of-a-kind elements, Domo Arigato whisks us away on a magic carpet of Space Vision 3D to a world long since erased and redrawn by the hand of time. Japan, 1972, where a world-weary U.S. airman where a world-weary U.S. airman meets Tara, a girl with a tragic secret, and together they map out the joys and sorrows of star-crossed young lovers in a landscape that is both exotic and compellingly familiar. Domo Arigato is a visual time machine, transporting us to times and places long since erased and redrawn by the hand of time. Space Vision 3D puts you there, and writer-director Arch Obler holds you there. Bonus features include a commentary track with Arch Obler expert Matthew Rovner and special guest 3D expert Mike Ballou. Cleopatra Follies, aka Flame of Islam, a lost Ed Wood 3D short, not seen in over 70 years. Skid Row Hold Up, a newly restored 3D burlesque short from 1953, and outtakes. This comes with Blu-ray 3D, Anaglyph 3D, 2D, and it's region free. So however you are equipped to play this, you can play this. I'm going to say that one more time. You can watch it in 2D. You can watch it in Anaglyph 3D, which is the red and blue glasses, or you can watch it in 3D, the Blu-ray in 3D, the polarized 3D. If you don't have glasses, guess what? It comes with the Anaglyph glasses. So it's not ideal to watch if you have the 3D. If you can do polarized, you got to do polarized. But that's cool. That did come out, I want to say, like February, and it got buried in my stuff, and I just found it again. It's like, oh crap, because it's awesome, right? And I love the 3D Film Archive's been on my channel multiple times. Bob Furmanek, Mike Ballou has been here. All these guys, they've been on Serial at Midnight. So I want to support what they're doing because they do great stuff. This is from Full Moon. We are almost done. This is from Full Moon. This is a collection of 3 movies that they've released individually. This is The Young Seducers. There are 3 of these movies. They're The Young Seducers. And then, are they just called Parts 2 and 3? Yeah. Each of these got its own individual Full Moon release. This is the box set. Basically just a collection. But I know that this is the kind of thing that my crowd is into, because these are from the 70s. This is what, 1972, I think. Hold on, what are the years down here? 1971 and 1972. And they're German movies. And are these English dubbed? Doesn't say. No special features. You know what you're getting with Full Moon, right? So, but I did want to shout this out. Get ready for a triple shot of Eurosex with Erwin C. Dietrich's The Young Seducers trilogy, a rollicking, ribald collection of charming, cheeky, erotic comedies that will get your juices moving. What a way to put that. Framed like semi-serious-minded social issue investigations, The Young Seducers films follow a gaggle of tabloid reporters' musings over the phenomenon of randy young women targeting dirty old men for sex, each with new scandalous stories reenacted for the audience in frank ways. But you know, these are definitely exploitation movies, but they're from a specific time, and they're not the full-blown deal. You know what I mean? These are titillating movies, and I don't talk about full-blown movies here. I talk about exploitation movies from time to time. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. You're picking down what I'm putting up. My favorite release of the entire month. Now, this is a notable thing, right? Because there's a ton of awesome stuff in this, what we just talked about. From Celluloid Dreams, a company that I loved their first release. I interviewed Guido Henkel, the maestro of Celluloid Dreams, with his son, who are together doing all of this basically themselves. It's incredible. This is their second release. We now have the second release from Celluloid Dreams. Is this numbered? 25002. That's the only numbering on it. Short Night of Glass Dolls. This is the giallo film with... It's a hardbox set. It's a 4-disc set. We've got a 4-disc Blu-ray, multi-disc set. Everything that collectors want is here. There's the movie. There's a bonus Blu-ray of special feature, multiple. You know what? It's too much to even talk about. We've got the booklet. It comes with a film strip. It comes with lobby cards. We're going to go through all of this. So this is why I saved it for last, because I believe in saving the best for last. Here, let me hold this up, and I'm going to read some of this to you guys. From the fringes of the giallo genre, writer and director Aldo Leto, who saw her die, Night Train Murders, delivers a debut movie that pushes the boundaries of convention with an ending that is one of the best, truly shocking giallo finales ever put on film. Foreign correspondent Gregory, here, I'm not going to read that. Special features, original Italian and English opening credits, English, Italian, and Grindhouse theatrical trailers, 7 featurettes with Aldo Leto, Gene Sorrell, Enzo Doria, Mario Mora, Eda Del Orso, Dieter Geisler, and others, 35mm Grindhouse version, export Malestrana credits, original US paralyzed VHS version, commentary track by writer-director Aldo Leto, commentary track by film critic Guido Henkel, the man that made this possible, isolated score, photo gallery, and a 64-page booklet. I mean, my good Lord, this thing is loaded. So, here is, first of all, here's the film strip. That's probably not going to show up for you guys. It's a film strip. It's a strip of film. You see, boys and girls, when they make a movie back in the old days, they shot it on film. And that's how it was edited. This was the first release, which we talked about. High on my list for the best releases of last year. And again, the subject of the interview with Guido. So here's the 4K disc. Here is the Blu-ray disc. Here is the bonus features Blu-ray. And then here is disc 4, the Grindhouse version and the paralyzed version. And there's, can I show this? There's alternate artwork too. Now I'm trying to see what the difference between these two things. There's this art, and then there's this art. Is this? No, I'm looking for, there's probably nudity or something. I don't know. I'm seeing. Anyway, let me show you these lobby cards. Oh, we got the, hold on. There's so much. Okay. The booklet, first of all, here's the slipcover box, the slip box, I don't know, it's hard box. And this booklet has nudity in it, so I'm not going to be able to show you all of this, but here's the cover of the booklet. Lots of photographs. This is like catnip for us, right? This is a 65. This package is a $65 retail price. When we look at $50 for a Steelbook, I mean, and this is $55 also through the Celluloid Dreams site. I think the value's there. Especially, look at the size of these things, and they're that high gloss. I mean, my Lord. I'm assuming this is all of the promotional material for this movie. That they were just like, let's just reprint them all. Let's just do them all. There's nothing on the back, just to be clear. It's just white on the back. But I mean, what? What? So stay tuned. I have more to say about this release. I have invited Mr. Hinkle back to talk about this release because I know what goes into these things, and that's going to be forthcoming. I haven't talked to him yet. We're aligning our schedules, but I believe in that stuff. I want to champion that stuff. So this was a huge... This is April, you guys. This is April of 2025. This is still like this spring. As we get closer to the summer and later in the year, it's just going to continue to grow, and more high-profile, prestigious releases are going to be headed our way. What are you interested in? I will say check this video for links. If you want your own Wino 4K shirts, there's a Cereal at Midnight store. I am constantly clearing titles out of my collection that I don't want to... Curating my collection. That's how I should say it. I'm constantly curating my collection. So there's an eBay link. There's a link to my eBay store in the description of this video and every video. So if you want some of my stuff, it's constantly going up on eBay. I put up, you know, the last week I've sold 22 releases. So if that's something you're interested in, that's where you can go. You can also become a supporter of Cereal at Midnight through either YouTube memberships or through Patreon. There are benefits to doing so. Live streams, group watches, roughly an exclusive video every single week. If it's not an exclusive, it's early access. There's benefits pretty much every single week for Cereal at Midnight members. And you're supporting an independent creator who's not taking sponsorships from companies that they don't align with, that they don't agree with. So I appreciate the time that you spent with me here. This was a long one. This is definitely going to be a Cereal at Midnight physical media super show. I'll be back talking about Kino Lorber in about a week or so. So stay tuned for that too. We're going to cover every Kino Lorber release. Of course, if you're watching this in 2030, it doesn't matter. But thank you guys. I appreciate you. Please continue the conversation in the comments below. Let me know what you're interested in, what you've seen, what your thoughts are on the changing collector market, and how we as fans and collectors can, should, have failed to, whatever, adapt to these changing times. Thank you guys. Till next time, I will catch you later.